Intelligence System Analytic Computer is activated. All ISAC systems are confirmed online. Data scanned. Downloading files.
Hey guys, this is Mike from SITREP Radio, a podcast focused around the Division, and I'm here to welcome you to this tactical looter shooter set in the Tom Clancy world. Whether you're completely new to the game or are coming back from a long break, over the course of this video series I'm hoping to guide you through the ins and outs of the Division, with the overall aim of helping you get your character to level 30, provide advice for the endgame content that lies beyond this, share some tips, tricks and hints that we at SITREP Radio have learnt along the way. In this video we will be going over the central hub of your journey as an agent of the Division, the base of operations. Before you can begin to start saving what remains of Manhattan, you need to secure the base of operations, which is currently under siege from a number of NPCs from one of the game's enemy factions, the Rioters. This is your first mission once you leave the security of Camp Hudson. Once secured, the ultimate goal is to establish the base of operations as a fully working home base. Your first look inside is that of a very dilapidated, almost forgotten building. However, through the course of the main missions, side missions, and encounters that make up the Division's gameplay and story, you will upgrade a large number of areas and features here in order to set up the three main wings of the base of operations: the medical, the security, and the tech wings.
The security wing needs some love, and Captain Benitez. The tech wing has obviously seen better days, but if you can get Rhodes back here, he's apparently got a lot of tricks up his sleeve. Former PM.
As well as being a large safe area, the base of operations can also be used to restock your ammo reserves. You also find three separate vendors here, two of whom stock weapons and gear for you to purchase. The third is the reward claim vendor, which will contain in-game rewards for you to claim during the endgame play. For now though, check here to claim consumable pouches from the resource tab that contain, for example, special ammo. You can sell gear and weapons that you are no longer using to any of these three vendors. Now, we said this in episode 1 and we're going to say it again now. We strongly advise against rushing to buy any gear available at the vendors, even if it's better than what you currently have equipped. Gear progression is very quick during the early stages of the story, so unless you are really struggling with a particular area, we would use the vendors purely to sell anything you don't want. Also situated inside the base of operations is a crafting bench, where you can make weapons and gear once you have found and looted the relevant raw materials. You also need to earn blueprints by completing both main missions and side missions. Located next to the crafting bench you will find the stash box. You can use the stash box to store items for safekeeping for future use, or simply just to clear out your backpack before you decide what weapons suit your style of play. It is worth noting though that your stash box is also accessible from any of the safe houses located on the map, as well as many of the dark zone checkpoints. It is also worth stating at this point that if you do have multiple characters, they all use the same stash box, which will enable you to swap items in between characters. Apparently this is very similar to the vault in a popular space magic game, so just be warned. Establishing the base of operations. Each wing of the base of operations is under the stewardship of a different allied NPC. Dr. Jessica Candle handles the medical wing, Captain Roy Benitez runs the security wing, and Paul Rhodes is in charge of the tech wing. You will rescue each of these allies fairly early on during your journey through the perils of Manhattan, and thus unlocking their relevant base of operations wing. As you unlock each wing, you will gain additional SHD skills for your agent. You will also unlock numerous talents and perks for your agent to further strengthen his or her abilities. New areas of the base of operations begin to open up the more and more upgrades you unlock, including the firing range, which you will find downstairs in the security wing. All of these upgrades just mentioned become available to you piece by piece as you complete main missions and encounters as you play through the story. Each of these are color-coded to match their respective wing of the base. Missions and encounters colored green provide you with supplies for the medical wing, blue is for the security wing, and yellow signifies the tech wing. If you get lost inside the base of operations, follow the color-coded marking on the floor from the entrance. Also, checking the situation board at the base of operations and safe houses in each district will display these on the map for you. As you can see, by upgrading the medical wing, you will unlock the following upgrades: security wing upgrades, and tech wing upgrades. As you can see, there's plenty to unlock, but beware, There is no particular order, so we recommend that you take the time to read through the full list of options available to you as you are unlocking an upgrade, such as unlocking the Dark Zone Funds perk might not be as important as unlocking the support station during the early sections of the game. Once you have a wing upgraded to 100%, you will then be rewarded with the corresponding signature skill or super ability from that wing. There are 3 wings, therefore there are 3 signature abilities to unlock. These supers are obviously very powerful skills, and could mean the difference between life or death during PvE and PvP encounters, so it's definitely worth reaching 100% as soon as you can. Connected to the base of operations is a social space available to you called the Terminal. From here, you will have access to new content which is available to everyone once they hit level 30, however some of these will require you to have purchased the Season Pass or the Gold Edition of the game, or access via individual DLCs themselves. As you can see, you will find access to the Underground DLC from here, which is a procedurally generated dungeon-style, purely PvE area. The Last Stand DLC is a fully normalized PvP mode, where 2 teams of 8 agents battle it out. There are PvE elements within the Last Stand maps, and there are a small number of objectives for players to complete in order to strengthen their Last Stand home spawn. And finally, we have Survival. The objective of Survival is to fight, loot and craft your way to the Dark Zone in order to extract and defeat an enemy NPC, the likes of which you have never seen before. We here at SITREP Radio have to say that Survival is probably our favourite of the paid DLC content, but we'll leave the detailed individual game modes breakdowns for a future video. High value targets, or HVTs, are additional missions available for you to purchase with a specific intel source once you have hit level 30. These are a good source of obtaining loot and currency at Endgame. We will talk about these in a video soon, but please keep them in mind for future reference. Much like the base of operations, the Terminal allows you to find other players for activities via matchmaking. There is also a restock point and a stash box, and another crafting bench, all available to you too. You will also find 2 new benches in the Terminal. These are the Recalibration Station and the Optimization Station. These are both very important to you once you reach endgame content and begin to min-max your various loadouts and builds and weapons. There are also 2 more regular vendors down here, namely the Special Equipment Vendor and the Special Blueprints Vendor. There are 2 special vendors accessible from the Terminal as well. One is the Global Event Vendor, which allows players to purchase GE caches during an event. These have a high chance of containing classified gear set pieces that are linked to that particular global event. These are the most powerful gear currently in the endgame experience, and as such we will discuss them at length in a future video. The other is the Premium Vendor. Here, you can trade in cipher keys you've collected from NPC drops, or via commendation unlocks for encrypted caches. Each cache contains 3 random vanity items ranging from weapon and backpack skins, clothing items, or additional emotes. Cipher keys can be earned in the game for free, or can be purchased via microtransactions using paid for premium credits. And last but not least, tucked away in the corner of the Terminal, there is also a sweet bathroom where you can take your agent to customize their appearance. So if, like many Day 1 agents, you screwed up and chose to wear sunglasses, which you were then stuck with for the best part of a year, now you can finally remove them and exchange them for a sweet new tattoo, piercing, or even a menacing looking battle scar. That's it for this video. If you have any questions, leave a comment below, and if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like. Thank you very much, agents, and I'll catch you in the next episode.
You're listening to a Mash Those Buttons podcast. Visit mashthosebuttons.com for a full podcast schedule.